Hey y'all, right now we're seeing lots of people in Minneapolis and across the country standing up and working for change. We're also seeing that these moments bring lots of pain, grief, stress, and exhaustion. Activism and protests are emotionally heavy work, and sometimes people turn to substances to cope because it's a quick relief. The truth is, no one has a problem with drugs or alcohol until they have a problem with drugs and alcohol. And the more often we rely on substances during challenging times, the more likely we are to become dependent on them. Mental health matters in every part of life, including activism. Taking care of yourself is not separate from the work you're doing, it is a part of it. Finding ways to soothe, calm, relax, and support yourself that do not involve substances can add years to your life and your work's longevity. I was so grateful when last year activist Tamika Mallory shared publicly that she struggled with prescription drugs because I know for a fact that activists, including the ones we learned about in our school textbooks, struggle with substances. However, they are often left out in conversations about mental health and recovery.
To know that you were leading in that way and also then hit a roadblock where addiction sank in, right? And the
Yeah.
addiction came from you not being able to process probably some of the
Trying to
grief
numb.
and the
Just
numb
trying to
and the
numb it.
trauma and all the stuff that comes with living the life that you
Yeah,
live, right?
absolutely. Well, sleep is the main thing, sleep deprivation.
Is
So,
that really true?
yeah, so it's sleep deprivation mixed with anxiety, extreme anxiety that I did not know how to manage. And then you mix those two things with people calling me everything under, I was every name. And so, I mentioned to a friend one day that I can't sleep. And she was like, oh, well, I take Xanax and it helps me. And she actually said, that I should ask my doctor about it. But I don't even remember that part. I just was like, do you have some? She's like, yeah, here, you could take these. I cut them in half and started taking them. And then the next thing you know, I learned that Percocets were even better. And I started taking those. And then I was up to 20, 30 pills a day. I was sitting at dinner with a group of girls one night, and this young lady she'd been through it. And she was like, it's a dark hole and it doesn't get lighter. It just gets worse. So you should stop. But at that time, I was kind of like, ooh, I'm sleeping. I'm feeling a little better. And she's like, actually, you're not doing well at all.
Let Tamika's story be a reminder that stress and trauma can contribute to substance use challenges and that recovery and care are possible. If you are been protesting, organizing, or holding space, please tend to your mental health. Reach out for support, connect with community, practice rest, breathe.